They've both been magnificent within points of this series.
They absolutely have, but the desk was right that Yike got the better of Elyoya in the early game. But coming into this draft, we're game 5, fearless, the pools have narrowed, and attention turns towards those AD carries. Zeri, Caitlyn already taken off the board. Mel also going to be removed with the Rumble naturally taken from the side of KC. And it turns our attention to things like Trundle, Ornn, K'Sante, Tristana.
Yeah.
Like, we're super deep into the pool right now. We need to think about where we're going.
Yeah, if you're AD carries, there's still Lucian, Kalista, Isaiah, Misfortune still up and available. When you're looking at junglers, it's things like the MKOI, the Trundle, Silas flexes, both in mid and that jungle. And of course, things like Akali, Yone, these assassins start to come up in the mid lane because so many of the control mages are now out of the equation.
And with Mundo gone as well, I mean, we're just getting rid of the junglers left over that we think of. Part of the engage tools that we've seen so far, like the Jarv and Panther and Sejuani, you know, the list goes on, look on your screen. They're so minimized at this point, it is anyone's guess what we get in most of these roles, if not all of them. Now let's question last ban, what's it going to be here? Rumble's already gone, Caitlyn's gone.
Nami, for sure.
Nami?
I think it just limits a lot of potential AD carries, like Lucian that Dagda was just talking about, already makes it a lot weaker.
Yep.
But, so, certain things. I was talking to Dagda before this, Leona is a possibility, but Alvaro, when I think of him, I actually think of Braum. Braum is something he's played pretty consistently throughout his entire career. And so Lucian Braum is another possibility that could come through from the bot side of MKOI. So supports are a really big deal, but Bard has actually made it through.
Oh, it has.
Bard is such a big pick for Busio. There's the Lucian. I'm expecting a Lucian Braum, but then if you do go that direction, then the Bard you expect has to be the response from KC.
Yeah, and Bard is a great pick into the Braum as well, because you just get to poke him, and there's very little that he can really do. So I think that's where, if you can immediately slam this Bard, I think you're in a relatively good spot, and you can still take some of these strong AD carry picks for yourself as well.
Well, there's the concern there of like Lucian Thresh, Lucian Pike. There's always that on Lucian Blitzcrank. I guess it's not the scariest. Oh. Okay. Still, Caliste still very
Renata? Renata, we think of Renata, or we
It was
get
banned
Braum.
in the last game.
It was.
Well, they don't have to pick it now.
Okay.
They can wait to see what bot lane enemy decides to go.
But are you worried about Braum into
If
Renata?
I'm them, I'm thinking about jungle, because again, like KC talked about it themselves, someone has to give up something in the draft.
Yeah.
The question is, what are you giving up? Maybe you just blind a K'Sante here. You just say, you know what, we want a guaranteed strong top side. Let's just get ourselves the... Okay, they're deciding on the support and they're going to go for Renata. I think this does come with some risks, because but it does dissuade the Braum, which is the big thing that, remember, Braum is good at blocking the ultimate from Renata, which you can argue is good, but in the lane phase, it can be difficult.
Milio could be huge, though. That ultimate to try and counteract the Renata hostile takeover. Does mean, though, you have to be fairly on point with it, because if you're close enough to use Milio ult, chances are you're caught in that wave as well. But it gives a lot of agency now to Lucian in this bottom side to try and trade effectively with the Kalista.
Plus the spacing you can get as well from the extra movement speed from Cozy Campfire. Very niche, but I love it so far. The 2v2 set up. What do we get here from Jojo? That's what they're kind of hovering right now. We talked about jungle priority. It would be a lot given up if you don't pick it here.
Well, so the desk talked about it. The later you get into a series, the harder engage gets to becomes. And
Gwen.
I will say that in the support matchup, like, Busio has gotten the better of Alvaro in the range support matchup. Engage supports, I definitely give Alvaro that advantage, but he's not on an engage support, so that engage has to come from Elyoya or Myrwn. And by locking in Gwen, while it is a flex pick, that engage we need to be seeing.
But it also denies the potential for that to go top lane. If you take an Ornn into the top lane, if you take the K'Sante, you're in a miserable time.
Yeah,
an
this
old
can be
school
tough.
counter that I think Canna is even, it was either, I think Myrwn played it.
Yeah. I think they both did.
They may have, but we've seen it in LEC. We've seen Akali played into Gwen. We've seen Akali absolutely dumps the Gwen in lane before. So don't assume that Akali is going in the mid lane, but also don't assume that Gwen is going top lane.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much flexibility, but again, it does come back to, for me, where does that engage come from? At least on the Kalista Renata side, you may just have to give your life for the cause here, Busio. Get sent in, use that hostile takeover, and you become that engage tool. But on the opposite side, like, you need something like that Ornn. You need something like maybe a MKOI, something that can set things up here, which is why I expected to have a little bit more of that focus towards those bans. But the Smolder,
TF and Smolder. So game 5, people are nervous. People play cautious. locking in a small to mid lane just to play for the scaling game.
Yep.
I'm being paranoid about it, I don't hate it, but also Twisted Fate really good into Akali. In the side lane, sure, it can be a little bit scary, but the ability to reveal her has it bagging back. There's the Galio
Okay,
locked
so
in,
it is top.
heavily suggesting that this Akali's going top, but again, you can put the Galio top as well if you need to.
Both good alternatives. So double flex. For the meantime, though, I mean, Canna has played 9 games in his career, not super successful, but we can move on for that, wait for the swap. But now...
They could do Yone Maokai, no?
Yone Maokai, Vedius wants to see.
Yeah.
Do you think it's enough engage? Is it really enough engage?
I mean, there's so short range on the opposite side. I think it's your best bet here.
Okay.
Like, you have to face check so far and you don't have a way out.
But also, you're assuming the Galio is mid. Yone outscales the Galio inside and as well into the matchup.
Yep.
And then Maokai provides you with the utility. It's going to suck for Gwen into the Akali, but there is room for outplay. And...
do you not? You can just send the Gwen mid.
well, and there's the K'Sante, so they are going to put the K'Sante top.
Oh, so Gwen
now,
jungle, yeah.
Now you have to make a decision. Do you still put the Akali into the K'Sante top lane? It can't be.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
you can't jungle Akali, you can't jungle Galio.
But now, honestly,
on.
I think that...
Oh, game 5 Kha'Zix from Yike. Okay,
This was his pick. This was the pick that Yike, years ago, before he got to the LEC, made his name on. This was the thing that he was feared for in the LFL. And now, when his tournament life is on the line, it's going back to his roots.
that's great context, because I remember this game 3 against T1 at MSI, and they were 0-2 down, and he locked in Kha'Zix, and it did not go well.
No.
It was not it at all. So, wow, game 5. He has confidence in himself to bring it out as an answer into the Gwen. Gwen naturally a good duelist, but isolated, Kha'Zix has that pick potential.
Yep.
Guys, the engage on both these sides sucks.
Yeah.
It is going to be scrappy, it is going to be skirmishy, and I'm hoping we get a lot of fighting. Jojo on his Yone, the Akali for Canna. I couldn't ask for a more fun game 5.
I do think I prefer MKOI's draft, though. It seems easier to execute, at least when it comes to, we want to set up, just play for poke with this Lucian, try and find ways to open up when we come towards the culling, and then you've got frontline. Because when I look at KC, sure, yeah, who can provide something, but there is so much dive, so many things that have to go well in a fight if you want to get access and value from these double assassin-style composition.
And how symbolic that both junglers are picking something here that relies on them to be the power. Yike versus Elyoya, MKOI versus KC, a best of 1 between the Spaniards and the French. The winner versus G2 tomorrow, and the loser goes home exhausted. We just ask how far they have to go. As for MKOI, a loss in this arena with the fans coming out in the thousands would be devastating. But KC, what a smack in the face it would be to get their first ever best of 5 win in the history of the LEC against MKOI.
I love that. It's either stomp, either disaster. Let's go indeed. I mean, they've delivered a super entertaining series for us. Game 5, let's see who can show up.
Yeah, a little late to the wave. So giving Jojo that opportunity to push in was over getting a ward to see if there was any sort of invade that was going on, or at least setting up to cover for an invade on that bottom side.
Right, because what Gwen can do is dash over the wall at the Dragon Pit, threaten their bot side invade, and so they really wanted to get that early information. Those minions going to be lost underneath the tower, so it's 2 CS to 5. Good pressure and push coming out from Jojo early on. Akali running the Ignite TP in the top lane matchup. Into Gwen, this is kind of standard, you get great. But into K'Sante, well, I mean, he's going to itemize early magic resistance, and Akali early on, the problem is, energy is a nice resource because obviously it doesn't run out, but the Q cost at level 1 is like 130, if I remember my Akali correctly. And so it's very difficult for you to exert that much pressure onto Myrwn, even if you can get a bit of an early advantage in this matchup.
Now, as we're into this early game, I just want to share some fun stats before we get into the potential chaos. No, the chaos that's going to happen with these comps. Did you know Lucian is on a 12-game loss streak right now in the LEC?
I did know that, yes.
Okay, not the greatest stat, but Supa maybe can change that here. Yike's Kha'Zix is 17-3 in his career.
What?
Which is insane. It's 4-1 in Tier 1. So obviously, play that in his upcoming But in Tier 1, that's still an impressive
I now feel like I need to get my T1 thing fact-checked.
Yeah.
Because now I feel like my memory can't be trusted. I seem to remember at MSI that was the Game 3 that he brought it out, but maybe I'm confusing it for a different champion. Maybe it was the Belveth, a different purple void.
I'm almost certain, though, when he was on LDLC, this was his pick. He would bring it out in clutch moments and hard carry on it. Back before he joined the LEC, right before he joined G2.
Only
and
lost
even
against
then,
T1, by the way.
Yeah,
Sorry,
also it was only, okay.
Well, there you go.
So then, he is very comfortable on this pick. It has been a pocket pick for a while. And we'll have to see now if it works in this meta. Like, we've seen it, I think, once or twice over in LCK as we get deep into draft. I think Canyon has been the main one to bring it out.
Yeah.
But this is a speciality of this man. And MKOI have to be aware, have to make sure that they don't get isolated, and Yike can finish them off.
Sneaky, sneaky. I'm looking at Yike on the minimap.
Yeah.
He's dropped a deep ward and he's eyeing up this bot lane. He may have targeted his prey. They're backing off though, so he realizes not going to waste any more time. Want to get back to base, start clearing on the top sides. Yeah, he's going to fully channel that base off. On the top side of the map, Gwen hovering around, sitting on top of a ward. Canna not really going to convert it into much. But you'll start to see, so basically, as long as Myrwn doesn't base and the more levels that Akali gets, the easier this matchup is for Akali, because the energy cost of her Q will continue to go down, and it's very difficult for the K'Zante to trade back. But first base, K'Zante is going to come back with nothing but magic resistance, and then the Akali starts to get a little bit sad.
All on bound. Jojo doing some good trades. He's kind of playing it on the edge, which feels like he needs to do his kyeahoo, just using his base damage, as all Galios do. Seeing what he can do in this lane. First dragon up in a minute.
Yeah, I mean, all you're really looking to do as kyeahoo is continue to push the wave of Winds of War, reset, you'll pick up Ami Cinder. Traditionally, you see people go for the, obviously, AP, the magic resist burn item, but instead, you just go towards the Sunfire Cape, and it's all the same. So for KC, we'll have to see again, like, my eyes are firmly on what Yike wants to do here, because it feels make or break. If you don't get Assassin's ahead.
Do you see those pings on the Raptors?
True.
That is what he's looking for right now. Level 6 very close for kyeahoo. Not going to quite get it off that wave.
Kill off Ali's nice Supa though in
That's
trouble as well. The flash forward. Caliste sets it up and they spike it down. Caliste with first blood.
We've criticized Caliste's performance in this series and we wanted to see him step up, and he does just that. 2v2 kill in the bottom lane. Now the fight over Raptors.
Well, it's going to be a little bit hard coming in. The smite is good. Shield of Duran, the leap on as well. Tasting their fear is Yike, and Elyoya is isolated. Flash over the wall. It's Matt. Yike looks another target, and Jojopyun will flash. Yike tasting their fear.
Yike really wanted that W to land to get the slow, but wasn't quite able to make it happen. The steal does come through. The dragon will be taken. And KC looking to fight in this game 5.
I mean, a fantastic start for KC. As a reminder, these two teams have been in a best of 5 twice, and it was KOI that took that game 5 both times. It went all the way to the 5-game series. KOI want to try and keep that record going as we look back at this 2v2.
Yeah, I mean, this is why Renata and Kalista are so feared. The ability to play so aggressive on that lane, and also then having the W as well from the Renata to keep yourself alive if worst comes to worst. Perfect stuff there.
It does feel like that's the first time in this series we've had a really good compliment for this 2v2, right? Because there have been lanes earlier on. I know it's been 5 hours now,
Well,
gents.
the Ashe Seraphine was, of course,
the Ashe Seraphine, but outside of that, right, there were mistakes. Kalista got some harsh criticism, but him and Busio getting on the board first, 500 gold lead for the Kalista.
And Supa in trouble
Heal up
again.
as well. Really good soccer ball there from Alvaro. We are in the country after all, as Cozy Campfire going to heal up and sustain Supa.
I was going to say, though, while we have the history of MKOI versus KC, every game so far, Betty pointed out, has been first pick wins the game.
Yep.
Right now, the first pick for Supa has not been working out so hot for them, and Yike finds Elyoya.
Yike as well, he's evolved at this point. Elyoya not getting the red. No, indeed he wasn't. He's isolated once more setup. Yeah, he gets the ulti. Elyoya maybe La Cabra, but he's learned nothing now. Yike gets the kill, gets away with it, no flash on, but KC still get everything. 2,000 gold at 6 minutes.
Myrwn barely getting the kill back onto Yike. But at least it's something, but it's Elyoya punished and maybe bought as well.
Close. All right, nothing happens, but this is just the danger right now of KC's early game. As Elyoya didn't get it.
He doesn't have the smite available. Yike does. He has level 6 already. Elyoya has no flash to get away. It's an easy kill for Yike. He almost gets away, but the flash Q connects from Myrwn as Canna then cleans up the kill.
It's the upgraded Q evolve as well for Yike, which just gives him so much off of those claws. It's insanely good. And in that sort of situation, where Elyoya starts isolated, it's perfect. And look at the experience between Elyoya and Yike. Yike's having a great time.
I mean, this is why you pick the Kha'Zix, because in the 1v1, you can beat the Gwen.
Yeah.
She's a scary duelist, but Kha'Zix, he can be just as scary, and it's why you see him picked into things like the Xin Zhao, like the Gwen, because of his ability to outduel.
Those forceful spikes, you jump into the fun ring of Gwen, and you will stay with her for the duration.
The fun ring.
What? The hallowed mist. But 700 gold, Yike's lead astounding. KC's early game, brilliant. But this time, at 8 minutes with 2,500 gold, they have Dragon. Yike is taking everything, and Elyoya cannot breathe.
I want to give the shout out to kyeahoo though, because this man has been like following Yike wherever he goes, and this is kind of a, like, we heard the Des talk about a little bit about how KC kind of played towards Yike, but this is on a different level. kyeahoo's constantly feeding in towards his jungle and just zoning Elyoya every time. But
Set up, shielded Ram blocked in the way. Jojo can't get out. Yike here once again, as you already said, from behind he almost finds a kill. Jojo lucky to be alive, but Yike again is accelerating the game.
Oh, I thought kyeahoo was looking for the flash winds of war there with no flash on Jojo, but still pushing people back, getting this control for KC. And this is what you need as KC. A double assassin comp needs very much to be in the lead.
I mean, look at the rift right now. Winning top, winning mid, winning bot. Everything for KC is winning. Canna, though, taking an unfavorable trade. Does have the lifesteal.
Double Negatron cloak, by the way, starting from Myrwn, as you'd expect.
That's what I mean. It starts to get a little bit harder as oh, hang on a minute.
Do you think this is a dive? Hostile takeover comes in. Busio gets both, and Supa just gets rendered. Next up, Alvaro, breath of life, but where are you gonna breathe when Caliste sits on you? 2 kills, 1.2k gold lead. MKOI are bleeding.
Absolutely perfect dive. That was so cleanly executed. The fact that the Renata doesn't actually pop the resurrection until the second kill. He knows that Supa is an easy kill. Then he knows that he can die here, tanks, gets the resurrection, and then the tower reset from the ulti. Just beautifully done.
Canna though.
It's bleeding, and public execution run perfect. No, let me correct myself. Canna is perfect.
Everything is going wrong for MKOI. They are struggling in the lanes. They are struggling to find anything. And KC, they're running away with this. It's a 4k gold lead, and we're 10 minutes into the game.
You know, it's just like last winter. I said at the end of last game, winter is here. Rasmus sits there watching this game, but it is KC who are trying to relive what happened this time last year. And MKOI in front of their home crowd are disappointing the fans right now.
I mean, we've seen KC in these Game 5 situations not be able to clutch things out. And you go back all the way to their very first series against BDS, an entirely different roster, but questions around, can this organization stand up when it matters most? And in this series, they are doing just that. Second Dragon about to fall, a 4k gold lead. KC are looking to meet G2 in the finals.
And it's why KC made these changes, why KC brought in Busio, why they need him now to play around this mid lane, was to find the success in these clutch moments, try and push themselves again towards that international stardom. And I mean, with a draft like this working out so far, it's kind of just style points.
It really is, and this feels to me similar as what MKOI did in Game 3. You know, that draft that was so hard, that needed to really push tempo. KC obviously in a very different state, and you can hear behind me, MKOI are getting riled up, or at least the fans are trying to rile up the arena. They're in desperate measures right now. The casters, obviously, from Spain are really trying to reinvigorate the crowd. We'll see if it does anything, because there is no control MKOI have in any part of this map.
They're trying to link with bot. They're in trouble.
Yike is back here. Soul unbound. Shield of Duran just out of range. Elyoya in the region, but the steal continues. Vorpal spikes from Yike take away more of the camp. He's got an Umbral Glaive. and he's got a CS lead out of this world over Elyoya, 30 in that.
I mean, we saw it from that first comment that we got from one of the chats, which was, this will either be a stomp or it'll be a crazy game. And that's the nature of these type of comps, right? When you've got such squishy champions, when you've got such snowbally champions, the moment one of these sides got a lead, we felt like that snowball was going to start. And it was KC that started it. And look at the snowball. Yike with a 1.4k gold lead in the jungle matchup. He's got a 45-35, a healthy CS lead in the jungle matchup, to say the least. And Yike is looking terrifying.
And I think it's, again, just the way that KC are playing towards him. Like, kyeahoo pushing mid to lean in, to take the camps in Elyoya's face. Even though Kalista and Busio are kind of hard stomping this bottom lane, also helping out with Busio roaming there to make sure Yike can go aggressive, having things like the ability to revive. It's KC playing so well as an orchestrated unit, and it's the consistency again that we call out from KC. How they can work together as a unit all these times. So often they make it work.
At the end of the day, though, they still need to close things out. We're 13 minutes in. The gold lead looks monstrous. This game feels like it's done and dusted already, but KOI have found those star plays before. They've been able to find these miracles and swing games at the drop of a hat. They need to find that miracle once again. There is a 2-level difference between the junglers. It's a fight over the red buff.
Well,
it's only
easier.
Yike and Busio.
But Yike can press Q on the buff and get a huge chunk. Smite steal? No. Elyoya finally gets some of his camps. I mean, this guy is getting strangled out. Raptors go down, but his red does not.
But it's, even if the chokehold on the jungle fails, it's in the lanes that it matters. The push on mid was thwarted, but that left bot lane vulnerable because Jojo had to go to help out on red buff. So now kyeahoo's getting damage on the tower. And if MKOI are putting all these resources and making sure Elyoya can just get a first item, that's where KC are winning out elsewhere.
Supa and Caliste sit isolated for now. Sitting towards mid, getting pushed because Dragon's up in 2. KC would move to Soul Point. It would be one of the earliest Soul Points we've had, not only in this series, but it feels like in LEC. Herald up in 45. These timers matter because they're isolated objectives, and Yike naturally takes them so fast with this snowball he's got with a pickaxe now in the inventory. KC hold control. It's obvious. Top side is the next task, and Yike is just seeing if any camp is up and available, what vision he can take, and what else he can strangle away from Elyoya.
MKOI are completely gated from this top lane. Myrwn tried to reset, but there's nowhere to go. KC are here.
Take away the plate and then take away Myrwn's life. He said, not in my house, but I fear that KC have a key. Myrwn down again, Canna on 3, and Herald for free.
There is no key. KC are kicking in the back door and announcing that they have come to Barcelona. kyeahoo gets the taunt on Supa. Yike is starting to move down from the top side.
It's an AP Galio.
But I think they're just happy to take the Rift Herald.
Yeah, that Galio is not messing about. kyeahoo is feeling himself right now. And KOI, like, their options are rapidly running out.
Supa goes over the wall, Justice punch. Culling going to run into kyeahoo. He's running for the minion wave, but he's going to take the full brunt of it as well. Still Galio has HP.
No way.
Under the turret window wall. Almost punches Supa in the tooth.
Alvaro's ult is the only thing that saves Supa there. Both the taunt and giving them a heal. But KC, they're still doing the things they want to. Rift Herald now picked up, and Yike is moving into the...
I mean, just go back to base, go straight to Dragon. Like, you have the empowered recall. You can get back out onto the map. Bot lane is being pushed in by Canna. He's committed his CP already. Looks like he's working towards the Leandries, which I think makes a ton of sense into Myrwn. He's now got that Caning Rook on, which will help him a lot in the 1v1. The problem is there is a 2-level difference, which is definitely going to hurt him. I'm thinking about options. I'm thinking about ways in which KOI can come back into this game. But, like, I guess Jojo... A healthy scoreline, play to the Ruin King completed. Maybe if he can find picks in a side lane, maybe his ultimate can be the difference maker.
I think you need that, like a big ultimate, drag people together. Maybe with Elyoya's damage over the top, you can do something. But the Dragons are dipping, and MKOI are nowhere to be seen.
I mean, right now I see Elyoya stealing some camps away from Yike at the very least to get something back. Yike going to secure the 3rd Dragon of the game, 16 minutes in.
Elyoya, good damage, but can't really find any contribution outside of that. Jojo's here, and we're looking towards top because that's the defense here from kyeahoo. But meanwhile, KC willing to step up here. Good handshake, but just trying to get some of the plating down. They'll do that successfully, but Herald now spawn. This is going to open up the mid lane at the very least. Maybe a little bit more. As open up mid, yes. Gold lead, oh no. If you're an MKOI fan, 6.6k now as Supa just got chunked.
Was that just the that was just
I think
the
it was, no, it was Caliste plus
okay, go on.
the Yike.
I was like, hang on a second, that looked a little fishy.
Yeah, that was a chunk of damage. My goodness, the wallet just keeps getting bigger. 17 minutes in, 6.8k the goal difference. Like, I'm struggling to find ways in which KOI can back into this game. I want to give the fans hope. I want to give them an angle with which KOI can look to try and play through, but the options are dwindling. The goal just keeps getting out of control, and these items are being completed now for KC.
It does have to be a mistake from KC. It has to be overextending for a jungle camp, and maybe you can get some kills, get some of that goal back in your favor. Because I do think if KC fall behind, this is a composition that is fragile. It can fall apart very easily, but at the moment, with the lead they have, they can continue to put the pressure, but one mistake could cause it all crumble down.
And in the home crowd, that noise would invigorate MKOI, reinvigorated that as well. Jojo looking for Yike. He goes into the evolution, or rather, goes invisible, excuse me. But after that, that's now down. All the fight for the blue buff, Elyoya will get it in the end, but meanwhile, you can see that the Gundam Galio has his own time in the bottom lane. kyeahoo picking up a bit of gold with the turret going down.
Started stacking up a lot of armor on the Galio to help him match up against Jojo in the side lane. But KC, they're not wasting any time. Like, the amount of effort they've put into stealing camps away from Elyoya has been ridiculous. Similar to what we saw from him on the Canna in Game 3. Like, Yike is just getting his full-on revenge against Elyoya and stealing absolutely everything he can.
He's so confident as well. Will he get punished for it? Jojo gets over the wall. His soul unbound. Yike is looking for him. Going to find him isolated. Red buff. It was stolen, by the way.
Oh, unfortunately, Busio gets it. Busio picks that one up. So Caliste isn't going to get the shared red buff, but another objective taken away.
But Elyoya doesn't get it.
Absolutely.
That's the huge thing. Yike is putting on a show as to like what insane 1v1 jungling, what insane Kha'Zix jungling looks like right now. The world is going to be in solo queue tonight after this.
And I think it's incredible to see Yike kind of falling naturally back into this carry jungler style.
Yeah.
Because we kind of talked about on G2, it was, hey, he's going to play your MKOI, he's going to play your Sejuani, and you're going to be happy about it, lad. But now coming back onto KC, getting to go back on towards what he made his name on. And in a Game 5 here against MKOI, to push them towards finals in Barcelona, you just love to see it.
And you've gotten all versions of Yike tonight. We got the Sejuani game, you know? We got the mixed bag, but here, now as Kalista sends in the fate's call, Jojo in the way, the flash forward. No, you're not escaping. Kalista with another kill, and 8-1. KC keep the punish going.
kyeahoo committed his flash to prevent Jojo from getting away. There was the flash available for Jojo, but he realized there wasn't any point. There wasn't any way for him to get out of this situation. And the one potential win condition for KOI, the one savior in a sense, given that he hadn't fallen yet this game, will add a death to his toll. And KC will extend the goal lead even further. Dragon a minute 20 away. Baron is alive. KOI need a mistake from KC to stop them from snowballing this game any more than they already have.
We're going to be found. Vorpal spikes used again. Yike willing to step on up, look for the smite. You know what fears me the most, gents? That this guy is the smite king and he's playing Kha'Zix. The many ways to steal many buffs and big objectives. It only gets scarier as Supa's going to take the safe path. Yike is on the run. Once again, these Raptors. I don't think Elyoya has gotten these Raptors all game.
No.
I swear Yike has picked up 5 or 6 of them.
He is just zooming. I mean, that CS difference between the two junglers just continues to grow. Elyoya, at least it's only a level and a half difference now. It was 2 earlier. 30 seconds until the Dragon.
That's with catch-up XP.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane.
Culling on the Busio, got a bit of a shield.
Damage,
He's okay.
very good damage.
Loyalty program does that. Yike is the one being pinged out right now. MKOI see him, it's Myrwn. Face checking this.
On bot terror though. Already 2 turrets, plates taken. And again, like, as long as he's in this sort of position, threatening a flank, they have Myrwn on one side. Who's matching Yike?
Shield of Duran used. MKOI getting sandwiched. Canna's in, sets up. Perfect execution in. Look, they're all grouped on up. KC on the charge. Canna finds the Milio. And now the hero's entrance. Kyeahoo ready to slam it down and shut MKOI up.
Such clean gameplay from Canna, diving into 4 and using his E as an escape tool to get a pick onto Alvaro and get away to safety. Now the soul is on the line. KOI only have 4.
Needlework is now down. MKOI, it's an uphill battle. We talked about Everest. This is going to be the biggest one of the lot. Busio sets up the ulti, lands onto 2, and the fight ensues. Kyeahoo goes golden over the wall, but Canna goes in again. KC must stand for Korean carry because this top lane Akali is out of this world. Finishing off with that, Kalista's going to chase down Myrwn, and MKOI didn't stand a chance, no matter how comfy they are in their home.
Nobody falls on the play. Canna tosses himself in, manages to pick up another kill, and 6-0 now on this Akali.
The arena finds itself in silence as KC dominates their rivals. 22.5 minutes, the soul is secured, the Baron will follow, all off the back of this Yike Kha'Zix pick. Canna's impressive Akali, and the whole team stepping up when it matters most.
And I cannot think of a finer way for KC to move to finals yet again in the start of the year as to beating their rivals in Spain in their home arena. Silence will continue to pursue as this fight dominated from KC's side.
Great positioning from Busio to get that hostile takeover. And again, look at Canna. He aimed to tank up that ultimate, but the follow through was just enough. He gets the kill on towards Elyoya, keeps himself alive. And Myrwn, unstoppable no longer.
The bailout doing so much work. Look at the smiles on the faces of KC. Canna is having an absolute pop-off performance on the Akali. He has the biggest gold lead of anyone. He just straight up finishes his Zhonyas.
Yep.
He is so far ahead. If we thought that KOI had limited options before, they have even less now. I guess the good news is Casey's comp is pretty short range. Okay, never mind. Apparently that does not matter.
Anyone who walks up from MKOI gets snapped. Jojo, as you're saying, you know, really the hope, but MKOI are down on the ground, 13,500 gold. Look at all the turrets left standing. If this was near a 20,000 lead, a 20,000 victory for a Game 5, what a show it would put on for G2 who are watching in the wings. Canna solo on the turret, they can't do anything about it. Caught out is Alvaro. This Milio piece looked good at the start, but it does nothing now. As an easy Ren with Caliste, just hopping forward. His poise, his martial, and perfect. As KC have a new target. Myrwn caught out, he wanted a flank, but even a Kha'Zix is shredding through the unbeatable Cassante. The all-out use, Myrwn can't even pass Maker, as Yike is gonna put him in the dirt as well.
It's just a decimation from KC. You've got everyone tanking every spell under the sun, and it's a tickle. It's nothing to this team.
It's the first BO5 win ever versus MKOI, and it's in the heart of Barcelona. Sending Movistar to their last siesta. Everyone's fallen asleep because LEC Versus is done. We've got one more matchup and it begins tomorrow. They will lock in a date with G2 and they will look once again to show us that winter has arrived.